Alright guys, so Fula coming to you with another video. Shout outs to the whole LDBC. So yeah man, I know there were a lot of great fights this weekend. Or, well, not a lot of great fights, but there were some fights this weekend. I'm not going to do a recap on those fights. I'm going to talk about some lesser known news basically. So, it appears that the Olympic gold medalist who actually beat Shakur Stevenson, who actually had Shakur Stevenson in tears due to the fact that he did defeat him, Robeisy Ramirez has signed with Top Rank. As people know, he's a product of the Cuban boxing school, so, he has that good footwork. He has that good, like, technical mechanics when it comes to throwing his punches and everything of that matter. And yeah, he I knew for a fact that, he defected a while back. And I knew from my other boy, Ray Cuba, shout outs to Ray Cuba, that he told me that he was just training and sparring and just kind of waiting until he got his situation sorted out. And so it appears he got his situation sorted out. Now, the way I look at this is I'm not a fan of Top Rank at all. I'm not, I hate Top Rank. I dislike the person behind Top Rank, Bob Arum. I dislike his ethics, basically. If he was in that movie Godfather, The Godfather, they would have offed him a long time ago, for the things he pulls, But mind you, that shit comes with the territory when you're dealing with, Ashkenazi Jew. And that's just the reality. You guys can hate me. You guys can say that I'm being anti-Semitic. But there's nothing anti-Semitic about talking about the characteristics of a certain group of people who have shown in history and even right now what they're capable of and what kind of things they do to realize a goal, even if the things that they do actually put other people in vulnerable places and put other people in bad compromising positions, But anyhow, that's neither here nor there. The way I look at this, man, is it's his foot in the door, man. Who's to say that he's going to spend his whole career on Top Rank? This is a good look that he got his foot in the door, and maybe if he has a string of good fights, man, he can go elsewhere, Let's hope he gets some good fights, When I watch him box in the Olympics and also box in the, in the World Series of Boxing, it's like an amateur championship where, they don't wear no headgear and they're still on a point system, but it's a little bit more professional, I guess you can say. But when I watch him fight, he has a very, very fan-friendly style, even coming from that Cuban boxing school. Due to the fact that he's in a smaller weight class, he throws more punches, and but he still got some pop on him, and the thing I like about him is he knows when to be aggressive, he knows when to turn it on. And in a way, who he reminds me of when I watch him fight, he kind of reminds me of a Zab Judah in a way. He has similar characteristics to Zab Judah as far as the hand speed is concerned, and as far as he kind of resembles Zab Judah's athleticism as well too, and so this is a good look for him, man. I'm happy to see that, his patience has paid off and that, we'll see him make his pro debut in the next down the line, this year. We should see him make his pro debut. So I'm looking forward to it, man. I'm looking forward to seeing how he transitions to the pros, you know. While I'm at it, I might as well talk about another Cuban who's actually pro too. Now, I don't want to butcher his name, but I believe he was in the Olympics too. I think his name is like, man, I'm not about to butcher his name, man, so I'm just going to call him by his nickname. His nickname is El Pequeño Gigante, and, you know, he has made his pro debut as well, and he has been successful in his pro debut. Now, granted, I actually think he's had 2 pro fights already, and if you're familiar with, if you're on social media, all you have to do is go to Erislandy Lara's social media page, and he's on there, and you'll see him, and you'll see his fights. And also go to, I think it's called the Threeplex Gym, because he's training with Erislandy Lara part of the time in Texas. So go to those pages, and you should be able to see him. And, you know, again, I think he has another style that is a crossover style, and that people will actually like. You know, right now he's just earning his stripes, and, you know, I think with Cuban boxing, what we're going to see is, I think the next generation of Cuban fighters, I think what's happening is, from what I see so far, they're still keeping the craft, they're still keeping the technique, they're still keeping the footwork, the distance management, and things like that. But what they're doing is, I think a lot more of them are not relying on outpointing you. A lot of them now, like the 2 that we know of, are now relying on trying to get you out of there too, in addition to outboxing. You know, they're trying to now get you out, so it doesn't come to a decision now, because I think they know that, you know, as a Cuban fighter, that the chances of them getting a decision are slim to none. You know, the chances of them, even if they box like convincingly, outpointing people, the chances of them actually getting those points and getting a decision are kind of like now slim pickings, because of just the business of boxing. You know, people are, there's a very small minority that are fans of, like, the real sweet science, like the hit and not get hit, the slipping and dipping punches, you know. There's very few fans of those, you know. And with that being said, you know, I think they know that they got to make statements now, you know. And I believe that that's what's going to happen with them. You know, me personally, I'm a fan of it, you know, the sweet science still. You know, I like the sweet science. But a lot of people don't like the sweet science, you know. Because if that was the case, you know, then people would have liked Floyd. People would have said, oh, he runs too much and stuff like that. And if the judges were a fan of the sweet science, then definitely Erislandy Lara would have got a decision over Canelo, you know, if the judges were a fan of the sweet science. So, you know, let's just see what happens with these guys, man. I'm really looking forward to seeing what these 2 have to offer, especially Robeisy Ramirez. You know, it's going to be interesting to watch. I just pray that he doesn't get screwed over, man. That's my main thing, because, you know, he's coming from like a sensitive situation in Cuba. And so with that being said, you know, this is probably going to be, this is going to be the most amount of money he's ever seen in his lifetime, you know. So with that being said, yeah, man, you know, I'm gonna be honest with you, because this is from talking to Cubans and stuff like that. If there wasn't a blockade, they would kind of actually be in a position to have professional sports, and they would also be in a position to prize fight too. Because what's going to happen is, because, you know, Cubans from a world over are known for their gift in boxing, you know. That's going to, like, attract people to invest in things like that, you know, and it could actually happen. I don't want to get too political, but from my traveling in Cuba, Cuba is a mixed economy. You still have your social services, like, you know, your free healthcare, your free schooling, because they are being kind of like blockaded and sanctioned. You have food rations even. But at the same time, you also have an industrious private economy where people are actually making a way themselves. You know, not necessarily relying on the state. You know, so the whole propaganda campaign is very stupid, in my opinion. And it is what it is, man. That's neither here nor there. Let me stay on topic. I'll just end it with this. You know, I would like to actually see another guy from Cuba cross over and try his luck in the pros, because he has a style that's, again, pro-friendly, and he has a how should I put it, like a work rate, a good work rate, and that's Andy Cruz. You know, Andy Cruz, he needs to come over here too, man, because he would be a hell of a fighter. That's just my personal opinion, though. Well, Fuller signing out. Njara.